Good day, everyone. For today's laboratory activity entitled Understanding Photosynthesis, this project contains the overview, the objectives, the materials and the chemicals needed, the procedure, the result, the analysis, and the conclusion. Photosynthesis is the process by which the green plants use light energy to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. And in this activity, we will look for visible evidence of photosynthesis by counting the oxygen bubbles released from the plant. Our objective for this activity includes observe oxygen production during photosynthesis and understanding the role of light and carbon dioxide. Ideally, during if were in the laboratory setup, we must use these materials and chemicals. First, the aquatic plant, beaker, funnel, test tube, light source, stopwatch. For the chemicals, we will be using the baking soda and the distilled water. But for the actual setup, you'll be using cell phone as the stopwatch, baking soda from the grocery store, that teaspoon, and then a container, the aquatic plant. I don't have the Elodia, but I have this aquatic plant. Instead of funnel, I will be using a empty bottle and a 1 liter distilled water. For the procedures, first we have to prepare the aquatic setup. We're in First, fill the large of bottle with a bicarb, the baking soda, and then place the aquatic plant into the bottle, ensuring the cut ends are pointing upwards toward the narrow end of the bottle. And then carefully invert the funnel over the aquatic plant sprigs, ensuring the stem of the funnel is fully submerged, and then fill the bottle with a baking soda. Cover the opening with your thumb, or if you have a stopper, but I don't have the stopper, that's why I'm using my thumb. Invert it and carefully place it. Okay, in this video, so this shows that I am already inverting the bottle. Carefully place it over the stem of the funnel, ensuring no air bubbles are trapped inside the bottle. So yun, and then for the first setup, we'll be using a uh, bright light source. I'm using a lamp, and then ensure the lamp is close enough to provide sufficient light without overheating the water significantly. Okay, and then for the another setup in the dark room, which is I cut the video. I was not able to upload it. But for the second setup, it's the same procedure with the first, but this time we'll be using the dark room for this procedure with no sodium bicarb, and then compare the result. And there, this is the result. For the first 0 to 5 minutes, for the sample bottle with a sodium baking soda, I counted 9 bubbles, but for the bottle without a baking soda and in the dark room, um, I counted no bubble for the first minute. And then for the 5 to 10 minutes, I counted 13 bubbles for the bottle with baking soda, while without baking soda, I counted only 2 bubbles for 5 to 10 minutes. And then for the 10 to 15 minutes, I counted 18 bubbles for the bottle with baking soda. And 15 to 20 minutes, I counted 25 bubbles for the bottle with baking soda. On the other hand, during the 10 to 15 minutes, I counted 0 bubble for the without baking soda, and 3 bubbles during the 15 to 20 minutes. With this experiment, I observed that for the bottle with baking soda, small bubbles begin to appear at the cut end of the plant bulb. The bubble release slowly upward. Up to during the 15 to 20 minutes, I recorded highest bubble production. And then for the bottle without baking soda, for the first 5 minutes, I noticed no bubbles, and then up to the 15 to 20 minutes, I only noticed 3 bubbles. With this experiment, with this experiment, the experiment aimed to demonstrate that intensity and carbon dioxide availability affect the rate of photosynthesis in aquatic plants. Using the aquatic plant, oxygen bubble were counted under the two conditions. One, we bottle with a baking soda, and the other one is without bottle without a baking soda as a control. In addition to the first analysis, with this experiment, in the bottle containing with baking soda, the number of bottles steadily increased. So from 9 bubbles up to the 20 24 bubbles as the 25 bubbles, sorry, as the minutes increased for the bottle with baking soda. This consistent rise shows that photosynthesis was actively occurring as more oxygen was produced when the plant had an abundant carbon dioxide supply and light energy. In contrast, or in the contrary, for the bottle without a baking soda, the control, which we call this as the control setup, only produce 0 bubble for the first 5 minutes, and then throughout the experiment, indicating minimal photosynthetic activity due to limited carbon dioxide. The comparison clearly demonstrates that carbon dioxide significantly enhanced the rate of photosynthesis. For the scientific interpretation, oxygen bubbles are direct evidence of photosynthesis. They represent oxygen released as byproduct of the reaction. Number two, the rate of bubble production reflects the rate of photosynthesis. Number three, the presence of baking soda provided extra carbon dioxide, allowing the plant to perform photosynthesis more efficiently. And number four, in the absence of baking soda, Carbon dioxide in the water was insufficient, resulting in a very slow or negligible bubble formation. And from this experiment, we conclude that the experiment showed that the oxygen bubbles were produced by the aquatic plant when it was exposed to light and supplied with baking soda as the source of carbon dioxide. This confirms that photosynthesis occurred. The setup with baking soda produced more oxygen bubbles compared to the control without it. Therefore, both light and carbon dioxide play a vital role in the presence of photosynthesis. Light provides the energy for the reaction, while carbon dioxide serves as a raw material. Without these factors, photosynthesis happens very slowly or not at all. That's all for this experiment, and we will now proceed to the guide questions. Thank you for watching.